Since we are creating the models for these companies, we can choose to have a discrete model or a continuous model. What are the advantages or disadvantages for each type of model? Okay, well, let's talk about the discrete model first. An advantage of a discrete model could be that a company's income doesn't perfectly follow this curve. Usually there's some fluctuations over time. They're making more money one month and less money another month. And so the discrete model could just do these check-in points at the end of each year. The disadvantage to that might be that it could be a little bit harder to figure out values in between, because the continuous model would do a better job of estimating. It might not be perfect, but you might get pretty close to the true values in between those discrete points. For the continuous model, like we mentioned earlier, it usually does a pretty good job of estimating those intermediary values. But the disadvantage, of course, is that fluctuations aren't usually accounted for in that continuous model because it's a smooth line or curve. So if we wrote down some of these things, we could say for a discrete model, the advantage is that it doesn't worry about the fluctuations. Fluctuations throughout the year. A disadvantage could be that it's harder to estimate values in between. For our continuous model, in general, it can also be easier to work with. Can be used to estimate intermediary values. A disadvantage, though, is that it's not necessarily accurate. At all points. Okay.